All right, now here's a look at the geometry from the little activity we just did. So here's a happy person sitting at the desk, and there's the floor. Here's a stool. And here's the desk. Okay. And then you take a line straight across from the top of their head. And then another one down towards the feet. And I come to a point right here. Now this is the eyeball of the person who is drawing the picture. Another little person here. That's their eyeball. and then here is the little window, the proportion window. And here's the piece of wood, the wooden handle. So this is a triangle here. Triangle goes from here to here to here. There's a certain angle. We don't need to know that angle. But the height of this person sitting down here, we can call that H. We can call that distance H. And then there's a little picture of the person that's right on the plexiglass right here. Person sitting right here. And the height of that we could call H, little h. So this big H is the real person, and little h is the picture, the image of the person. And then there's a distance also from the person over to the eyeball. We could call that D. That's distance. Call that distance D. And then there's another distance right here from the eyeball to the window, the little plexiglass window, and we call that little d. All right, so it's big D, little d, big H, little h. And because they're all part of the same triangle, see that's one little triangle, and then this is the big triangle. They're related in a proportion. So the H here divided by D, that's this side of the triangle over this side of the triangle, is equal to the little h over the little d. That there's the same parts of those two triangles. Here's one little triangle, and then here's a big triangle. Now it doesn't come right to the feet here, it's actually over here, but when we did it, we actually drew them from the side, right? But I drew this guy facing forward. So ours is even better than this because it really is a triangle, like a perfect triangle from here to there. That's the big triangle, and that's the little triangle. The little triangle is part of the big triangle with the same angle, and so it's called similar triangles. Similar triangles, and they're always related with this proportion. So now we measured all those things. We measured big D, big H, little d, and little h. But let's say that we didn't know H. We'll say H could be the thing we didn't know how high the person was. And so you could find H by using this proportion. If you knew big D, little h, and little d, you could find H, or you could find the H. So that's what we'll do. We have HM, H sub M. That's the H that we measured. But then we can also have H sub C. That's the H that we calculated. And we can calculate the H just like this. We can say H, we can move this proportion around. This little D here, you can jerk it up to the top over here. If you multiply both sides by D, it ends up being H equals little h over D times big D. That's you just put them right together, that means multiply. Or you could put the multiplication sign. You just put it up there, that's the way algebra works. Multiplying both sides by D. Anything you do to one side of an equation, you do to the other side, and you're still good. All right, so you take the little h that you measure off of your plexiglass, and then this D, which is determined by that piece of wood, which is 10. So little d is going to be the same for everybody. It's 10 inches. And then the big D, you measure that from the top of their head over to your eye, and you put in that and put in that and put in that for D, and then you take that times that, divided by that, and you get your H. That's your HC, H calculated. And then you check it out. Is H calculated close to H measured or not? And that's the way you do it. Because sometimes, I mean, here we can check it. We can measure it directly. But sometimes you can't measure it. Like say it's a mountain or a tree or something that there's no way you can actually measure that thing. But if you know this distance and you have a little window here, you can go around and get these other three parts, these other three measurements, and then you can calculate that last one. And people do that all the time. Now they have computers do it, but the computers use the proportion. So try it out.